Okay, Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. So
Hi.
today we're gonna present our presentation mini slide project, and this is our group members, and we are from group 5. So first let us introduce ourselves. My name is Siti Sarah binti Muhammad Johari, and my last metric number is F2032. And next I'm gonna introduce you my friends. So this is
My name is ELLEZA binti Bob and my last card metric is F2028. And ATIQAH?
My metric number 2030.
My name is RUBBINI Jaibalan. My metric number is 2014.
Okay. Hi everyone. First of all, I would like to thanks to you because you joined our presentation today. So we're gonna start our presentation right now. So Eliza gonna share our slide. Okay, this is our slide. To fulfill our requirement for communicative English 3, we have to do presentation for our mini projects. So next. Next, I'm going to explain to you our introductions. So the title of our mini project is The Need for a Counseling Approach to Address Depression Among -4A and -4B students in Polytechnic Sultan Idris Shah. So next is problem statements. So as you can see, the problem statement that we want to know is students of higher learning institutes are said to be easier to adapt to the academic aspect than the social and emotional aspects. And next is environmental conditions shape student behavior and traits, whether positive or otherwise. And lastly is bitter experiences and student backgrounds such as abuse and frustration also affect social development and the occurrence of depression. And next is, I'm going to explain to you our research purpose. So first, our research purpose is to examine the background of student depression. Next, to study the factors that cause student depression. To describe the misconduct committed by students of depressions. And lastly is to understand more clearly the need for a counseling approach in dealing with student depression problems. So for research questions of our mini project is, first is, what is the background of student with depression? And what are the factors that cause student depression? What is the misconduct of students with depression? And lastly, how could counseling approach in dealing with student depression? So next, I'm going to pass to my friends Eliza.
Okay, the slide show about the methodology. First of all, we made this survey for -F4A and -F4B student because it is easy to get in touch with them. And we took this survey at the Polytechnic Sultan Idris Shah, and this survey took 3 days to find out. Okay, next slideshow. Okay, the next slideshow, they have 5 sections. First, have a demographic for 7 questions. Second, have behavior and have a 8 question. 3, have a depression factor, have a 7 question. 4 is student perception, have a 6 question. This is we give a questionnaire link as you can see in this slide. Okay. Next. Sarah?
So next, I'm going to explain our data analysis. So for the first data analysis that I'm going to explain is demographic. As you can see, this is the bar graph for demographic. So I choose only 3 questions from 8 questions. So I only choose 3 questions, that is gender, age, and race. So first I'm going to explain to you our introduction of this data analysis result. The graph above shows the demographic of Deshe 4A and Deshe 4B students in Polytechnic Sultan Idris Shah. The total number of students involved in the survey was only 44 students. And the survey was carried out among Deshe 4A and Deshe 4B students. And next, I'm going to explain you about Futures 1. Futures 1. As you can see, it can be clearly seen that there were 95.5% of the students who were Malay. 75% of the students were female. 52.3% of the students were aged 18 to 20 years old. 47.7% of the students were ages 21 to 25 years. 25% of the students were only male. And lastly, only 4.5% were ethnic Indian. So next features is the most popular and the least popular. And as you can see on the bar graph, it can be clearly seen that the most popular students who answered the survey was female students. Yeah, female students. And male students were the least popular students who answered the survey for the demographic on gender among Deshe 4A and Deshe 4B students. For Futures 2, I choose question on gender. Okay. For the comparison, I choose for age. So the demographic of students ranging from 18 to 20 years for age was marginally higher than students for 21 to 25 years, as you can see on the bar graph. All right. And lastly, for conclusion of my demographic bar graph, it can be concluded the most popular students who answered the survey was Malay students, and ethnic Indian were the least popular students who answered the survey for the demographic on race among Deshe 4A and Deshe 4B students. So that is all for me. I'm going to pass to ELLEZA to explain the next data analysis.
Okay, for the next slide. For the next slide is behavior. The graph above shows the behavior of dash F4A and dash F4B students in Polytechnic Sultan Idris Shah. The total number of students involved in the survey was 44 students. The survey was carried out among dash F4A and dash F4B. As you can see in this slide for behavior, in feature, it can be clearly seen of that the higher percentage of student behavior among dash F4A and 4B dash F4B on question about being touchy people was unanimously agree, whereas the lowest percentage for strongly disagree for the student behavior. For the comparison is The comparison of selected question between dash F4A and dash F4B student, the number of students who agree that life were meaningless was fractionally higher than who answering neutral on that question. Okay. Lastly, for the conclusion for the behavior graph, it can be concluded that the most popular answer among the student on questionnaire, the question that life was meaningless, we strongly disagree. And the least popular answer among the student was agree, strongly agree among the student for the behavior dash F4A and dash F4B. And next slide I give for Rubini.
Okay. So for the next graph is about depression factor. Depression factor experienced by DHF4A and DHF4B students in Polytechnic Sultan Idrisha. Okay. For those, it can be seen that students who answering the question on their health disturbed increase slightly from strongly disagree until disagree and drop gradually from disagree until strongly agree among students DHF4A and DHF4B. Number 3, summary is from strongly disagree to disagree, the percentage of students who answering the lost a loved one increased rapidly from 9.1% to 29.5% and decreased significantly from disagree until neutral with percentage from 29.5% to 11.4% and increased considerably with percentage from 11.4% to 18.2%. From neutral until agree, and it went down to only 9.1% who answering strongly agree among students DHF4A and DHF4B. Okay. So lastly, the conclusion is the question that say often ignored by friends get the most popular answer is neutral, while the most rarely chosen on the question of the depression factor is strongly agreed among student DHF4A and DHF4B. Okay, now I pass to ATIQAH.
Okay, I will show my graph is a student perception. Okay, firstly, the introduction, data analysis. The graph above show the student perception of DHF4A and 4B student in Polytechnic Sultan Idrisha. The total number of students involved in the survey was 44 students, and the survey was carried out among DHF4A and 4B students. And the next data analysis, features 1. The features 1, it can be clearly seen that there were 50% students who chosen neutral. In 20.5% was disagree, 18.2% who answer strongly disagree, 11.4% students agree, and none of them were answering strongly agree with the question that says a teacher were too busy to listen to student problems among of dash F4A and 4B. And the next figures 2, it can be clearly seen that the most popular who answer the guidance and counseling office lacks a privacy and comfort required for effective counseling was a neutral and strongly agree were the least popular chosen by dash F4A and 4B. For the comparison in data analysis, the percentage of students that you can see who strongly disagree with the state of guidance and counseling department in the college does not encourage one to seek a counseling service was significantly higher than students who disagree. And lastly is a conclusion. The conclusion, it can be concluded that the most popular who answer the guidance and counseling office like a privacy and comfort required for effective counseling was a neutral and strongly agree were the least popular chosen by dash F student 4A and 4B student. And for the conclusion in all our questionnaire, the overall overall, the result from this survey have shown that the information presented on the questionnaire website is very useful and has been effectively communicated. However, some areas may need some refining and touch-up. The result of this survey shows students who are suffering from depression in the Polytechnic Sultan Idrisha is the Malay compared with a Chinese and Indian people like Sarah presented the first presentation in first graph demographic. And lastly is a recommendation. For our recommendation to improve access to speech therapy to improve a student performance. And the second, make a program about the dangers of a depression among students. And lastly, improving the counseling approach between students and students can make a speech session between counseling lecturers. So that was for me and my friends. Thank you.
All right, that's all for our presentation today. So I would like to thanks to you all to join our presentation. And thank you for those who also watch our presentation. Thank you so much. So that's all from us. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.